Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the MPC of August 10th, 2021. Hope you're all enjoying your summer. So call this meeting to order at 9:30. You have an agenda before you. Any additions or deletions? None. A motion to adopt the agenda. Reeve Sawchuk, thank you. We vote, call to vote. We can all vote, right? Call the vote. Oh, I like this. Works, finally works. Carried, thank you. Okay, you have the minutes before you of the July 13th, 2021 meeting. Any errors or omissions, anyone? Motion to adopt the minutes. Thank you, Councillor Jubenville. All in favor? Oh, I'm sorry, call the vote, call the vote. Here you go. Get me all mixed up. And that is carried, thank you. No business arising. Development applications 5.1, 2021-D-160 for major rural industrial clay stockpile.
The applicant is applying for a major rural industrial use for a clay stockpile. The property is located in the Country Roads Estates Subdivision undeveloped quarter section remnant. Adjacent properties are agricultural quarter sections, remnants, and the country residential lots of the first phase of the subdivision. The applicant would like to stockpile clay removed from the Country Lane Countryside Storm Pond Expansion Project on the unsubdivided lands of the Country Roads Estates subdivision. This land was restricted to accommodate, or redistricted to accommodate the area structure plan for the country roads and the future phases and lot creation. They would use the clay for lot grading within the subdivision. The stockpiles would be landscaped and trimmed, and they estimate it will be used within 5 years. This use is neither permitted nor discretionary within the country residential district, but as per Part 3, Section 18, the Development Authority may approve an application for development permit notwithstanding the proposed development does not comply with this bylaw if, in the opinion of the Development Authority, the proposed development conforms to the uses of the land prescribed in this bylaw. The proposed development would not unduly interfere with the amenities of the neighborhood, materially interfere or affect the use, enjoyment, or valuing of neighboring properties. And the development permit may be issued on a temporary basis, and the Development Authority may specify the length of time the permit remains in effect. This use may be approved as long as the lot grading for the development would be used to, the use conforms to the land use bylaw, and the proposed location should not cause conflict with the current residents of the subdivision. Adjacent landowners' letters were sent out on July 20th, 2021, and we received no response. Our recommendation for development application 2021-D-160 is to approve the request for a major rural industrial for clay stockpile with the conditions of the standard setbacks for country residential, the setbacks from the wellhead of 30 meters, as per Section 14 of the Land Use Bylaw, no person shall cause or allow the alteration of the surface grade or elevation of the lands in a way which interferes with the natural flow or pooling of surface water onto adjacent lands or lands under the municipality's direction, control, or management, or which has the potential to cause a nuisance, hazard, or damage. So the lot grading they do cannot flood out the other lots. The stockpile and surrounding site shall be kept tidy and free of litter, debris, and invasive weeds. The stockpile and surrounding lands shall not, in the opinion of the Development Authority, be a source of inconvenience, materially interfere with, or affect the use, enjoyment, or value of the neighboring properties by way of excessive noise, smoke, steam, dust, odor, vibrations, or refuse matter. If at any time, in the opinion of the Development Authority, the scope of the development exceeds the permit or the conditions are not complied with, the Development Authority may order the site restored to pre-developed state or may issue a stop order pursuant to the provisions of the Municipal Government Act. And the last condition, the stockpile is required to be used or removed by August 31st, 2026.
Okay, thank you. Any questions or discussion? Arif Sawchuk?
I'm just wondering if there was any correspondence within our own, within the MD, especially TNU, because the plan is to haul from one place to another. They're going to be using the roads, whether or not they were informed.
They were informed. I did not receive a comment back.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Councilor Fidelio?
Yeah, very similar question. That range road is gravel, so I'm wondering, and it's not made for a lot of traffic, so I'm just concerned about the weight of the clay, the road, and when they're going to be traveling on that and when they're going to be stockpiling.
Okay, we could add a condition that this is conditional to utilities approval
A road use agreement with,
and a road use agreement.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any more questions? Motion then to approve?
Yeah, made with those changes, I would make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Councilor Fidelio makes the motion to approve with those changes, with the additions. Okay, any other more discussion? Then I'll call the vote. And that is scary, thank you. Okay, no correspondence, other business. 7.1 Pine Meadows Confined Feeding Operation, NRCB permit.
The Pine Meadows Hutterite Colony applied through the NRCB to develop a confined feeding operation for 18,000 layer chickens, 18,000 pullet chickens, 10,000 broiler chickens, 2,000 ducks, and 1,000 geese on the north half of 2469 west of the 4th. The NRCB accepted the application and initiated the decision process, which include notifying affected parties, reviewing consistency with the Alberta Land Stewardship Regional Plan, consulting the local municipality for consistency with the Municipal Development Plan, and reviewing the Agricultural Operations Practices Act for the required minimum distance of separation from residents, water wells, and other bodies of water. The NRCB concluded that the plan was consistent with the AOPA requirements and issued permit BA 21007. The Municipal District of Bonnyville will not be receiving a development permit application for this operation, as the Municipal Government Act exempts this requirement as per section 618.2. Further to this, the building falls under the classification of a farm building as per the National Building Code and does not require a building permit. Electrical, plumbing, gas, and sewer permits are still required. Our recommendation is that the Municipal Planning Commission accepts this update on the Pine Meadows Confined Feeding Operation NRCB permit as presented.
Thank you. So you want a motion to accept this as information?
Correct.
Okay, any discussion? Councillor Duchesne?
Yeah. So do we know if there was any letters of concern sent to the government on that application?
Yes, in their report, their really large report, they did receive a couple of letters. One was from a lady that was further out from to be a concerned resident, and it was about the welfare of the chickens, and they took in the other application, and I don't believe that they were within the scope or within the area either to be considered a concerned resident.
Yes, I understand that their circle of concern in the scope is pretty tiny, because we're dealing with that at our residence right now. So they only had two letters of concern with that much development going on?
Yeah, with that much chickens, they had two letters come in. So they determined directly affected party status, and neither of the parties were considered an affected party.
So the MD didn't put in a letter of concern over that application?
We did not. It is consistent with our municipal development plan and the land use bylaw.
Even for our residents?
I speak for the land use bylaw and the municipal
Oh, okay.
development plan.
Because I thought we had developed a larger circle of concern for our residents to protect them than what the provincial government uses. they're using a mile or a mile and a half, and we extended ours, I thought, for development purpose, so. Just a question, I'm kind of concerned about more residents than that, because I know that it's going to create some more concerns in the future.
Maybe Sawchuk, you have a comment?
Or, Dana was first.
Yeah, I just would maybe ask Councillor Duchesne what the concerns or what he thinks the concerns might be, because I'm not sure if I would understand what they may be.
Well, with that many animals, they're going to have a manure facility, and the smell is going to be horrendous around that, and you're going to create a fly problem. It's going to be never ending after that. We see that problem in the south around Brooks and areas where they have the large processing plants and pig barns and stuff. So it's going to be a concern after it gets rolling.
Are those concerns, though, they're maybe covered off by whatever it was, the NRCB?
Yes, the NRCB does have that as part of the package, the addressing of the manure.
Councillor Jonesville?
Yeah, so who is NRCB?
The National Resources Conservation Board.
Any more discussion? Maybe Sawchuk?
What is the radius that they have to consult with, and do they actually put anything out in the press to advertise this development?
They do request an adjacent landowner list from me, and it is a mile and a half, and they do post it in the local papers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Councillor Schreiber?
Mr. Chair, so, yeah, if there's issues going forward, like down the road 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, who looks after those concerns, so that if residents come to council or whatever and say, hey, this is killing us out here, like, who looks after those kind of concerns?
It goes back to the NRCB.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know there's a chicken farmer just south of Maleg, half a mile. He used to have a few thousand head, and there was never ever a concern from Maleg, the village of Maleg there, or the hamlet of Maleg. But this is like 18,000. Okay, so any more discussion, or else we need a motion to accept this as information? That's all. Nothing we can do.
I'll make that motion to accept this as information.
Okay, Councillor Fidelio makes a motion to accept this as information. Any more discussion? Okay, so call the vote, please. It's my good friends at Pine Meadows.
No, they're doing a good job so far, I think. I just hope this carries on.
Well, I'd just like to add that our, Mr. Chair,
Yes, go ahead.
so a few years ago, sitting on the Ag Service Board, we had visited a Hutterite colony in the Peace Country. And these facilities have come a long ways. Like I mean, they had chickens and turkeys on there. They had massive barns, and it was pretty dairy barn, and it was pretty amazing how the facility was kept clean and you know, and they're living right around it, right? I mean, let alone the people that are off the colony. So.
Okay, thank you. All right, next is subdivision applications. 8.1, subdivision 2021-S-012.
So this application proposes to subdivide one 9-acre parcel from a previously unsubdivided agricultural quarter section. The subject site is located approximately 3 miles east and a half-mile north of the Flat Lake Community Hall on Range Road 481. The applicants are Explore Geomatics, and the owners are Rick and April Garska. The application meets all conditions of the Land Use Bylaw, Municipal Development Plan, Municipal Government Act, Subdivision and Development Regulations, as well as the Lower Athabasca Regional Plan, and therefore we do recommend it be approved with the following conditions. The first is legal and physical access to the proposed parcel and remnant. Second, if the subdivision is registered through plan of survey, that the owner dedicate a 17-foot wide strip of land on the east boundary of the proposed parcel and remnant for road widening to be registered by a separate road plan. If the subdivision is registered by descriptive plan, then the owner is to dedicate the 17-foot wide strip of lands by registration of caveat. They are to provide a real property report confirming compliance to the land use bylaw, as well as confirmation that the septic system complies with Alberta safety codes, and taxes paid in full.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion, questions, motion? Counselor? Thank you, Counselor Gibbsville makes the motion to approve. Any more discussion? Okay, call the vote. And that is carried. Thank you. Okay, 8.2 subdivision 2021-S-013.
So this application proposes to subdivide off one 15-acre parcel from a previously subdivided agricultural quarter section. The subject site is located approximately 1 mile south of Crane Lake on Township Road 635, in the northeast of 2863-4, west of the 4th Meridian. The applicant and owner is Neil Young. This application also meets all conditions of the Land Use Bylaw, Municipal Development Plan, Municipal Government Act, Subdivision Development Regulations, and the Lower Athabasca Regional Plan, and therefore we do recommend it be approved with the following conditions: legal and physical access to the proposed parcels and remnant, cash in lieu payable in the amount of $3,715 per hectare of 10% of the proposed parcel, a deferred reserve caveat registered on the remnant parcel, dedication by way of caveat for a 17-foot wide strip of land on the east boundary of the remnant parcel for road widening, provide a real property report confirming compliance to the land use bylaw, as well as confirmation that the septic system complies with Alberta safety codes, and taxes paid in full.
Thank you. Any discussion? Councillor Fidelio?
In Appendix A, in the photo, like the aerial, is there two driveways side by side? Is that what it looks like?
Oh, there's actually kind of a long road that's outside of the parcel. It's kind of a driveway that was created at one point. At one point, they were going to do 3 or 4 parcels in there.
Oh, okay.
And they have changed their mind, so that's a driveway outside of the actual parcel.
So there's a driveway going to the subdivision or the potential subdivision going ahead, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Okay, any more discussion?
Now, Mr. Chair, I'll just make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Councillor Schwarger makes the motion to approve. Any more discussion? Okay, call the vote. This is not Neil Young, the singer, is it?
No, I know.
I know.
I was going to comment.
It's, yeah. Ron Young's son. I know him quite well. I always joke with him. You bring your guitar. This has been carried. Thank you. Okay, subdivision 2021-S-014.
So this application proposes to subdivide off one 5-acre parcel from a previously unsubdivided agricultural quarter section. The subject site is located north of Angling Lake on Township Road 604A, in the northeast of 2663. The applicant is Explore Inc., and the owners are Randy and Kimmy Blaine. This application meets all conditions of the Land Use Bylaw, the Municipal Development Plan, Municipal Government Act, Subdivision and Development Regulations, as well as the Lower Athabasca Regional Plan. Therefore, we do recommend it be approved with the following conditions: legal and physical access to the proposed parcel and remnant, dedication by way of caveat, 17-foot strip of land on the east boundary of the remnant parcel for road widening, owner to ensure that any new property boundaries are no less than 6 meters from the bed and shore of any body of water, a real property report confirming compliance to the land use bylaw, as well as confirmation the septic system complies to Alberta safety codes, and taxes paid in full.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on this one or a motion? Councillor Schweiger?
I'm just kind of looking at the aerial photo, and it's just kind of strange that it's kind of a weird shaped little 5-acre parcel right along a creek. Is that actually a dry creek, or is?
There's actually creeks on both sides of it. That's why we're looking for the 6 meters back from the bed and shore. We did send referral to Alberta Environment, and they had no concerns.
I just see areas that you look at this and you think, is that an area that maybe floods all the time or whatever? But hopefully somebody's smarter than me's looked at it and it doesn't flood, because I hate to see somebody build something and,
It's already an existing site there.
Is it? And
There's
there's a
already
house
an
and stuff
existing
there?
house there. Yep.
And
So
they're
they're just
okay?
subdividing out the existing house.
guess if they're okay.
Looks like Alberta flipped, more or less. Councillor DeShane?
Do we know the original owners of that property? Trying to remember their name, because that seems like an old yard, isn't it? If I remember correctly?
I think the house has been there for quite a while.
Yeah. Can't remember their name. Yeah, it's on a bit of a hill there between the two creeks.
So it's okay.
Should be safe there, yeah.
Okay, a motion then, or whatever? Councillor Jubenville?
I'll make the motion to approve.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Chair.
Councillor Jubenville makes the motion to approve. Any more discussion? Okay, call the vote. And that is carried, thank you. Okay, so no subdivision extension requests. Next meeting, September 14th, 2021 at 9:30.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes?
I have a question. A couple of us councilors met with the landowner yesterday with some concerns on bylaw 17, what is it? 1776, and concerning our second and third reading on that bylaw for a landowner for some lease of our road right-of-ways. And I just want to make sure that before we go ahead with any readings or anything, all the information gets to your office, you will, from landowner Steve Harasimiak. So he'll be, if he hasn't sent it, he'll be sending it to you, to your office, and I'm sure he's been in contact with you at some. So I just want to make sure that gets to all of us and you girls too, before we go ahead with that next meeting or.
Is
And
that a
that-
road licensing bylaw? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Yes, it
Okay.
is, yeah.
But that goes to, that comes to council though, not MPC.
Yes, I believe it's going to come to council, but I want to make sure that it
They
comes
gotta
through Caitlin and then to us, so that we have all the information, because there's some major concerns there.
Thank you. Okay, a motion to adjourn, then you can discuss more, whatever we need. That's not part of MPC.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Motion to adjourn. Thank you, Reeve Sawchuk. Makes the motion to adjourn. Call the vote. Carried. Thank you.